Happy Friday! It's the Rap Queen Ariel Epstein taking you to 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on this Football Friday. I know that we had football last week in Week 0, but something just feels different. We've got college football Week 1 underway. We had a lot of games last night. We've got more games tonight. And we have the huge slate tomorrow, which is why today we are bringing on the Superbooks. One of the top, there is no one that's really higher than this guy. My good friend John Murray joining the show, going to tell us everything that they are looking to win in Vegas. They know in Vegas everything they need, and we're going to tell you the side. You know, Vegas always wins. So we should be on the winning side with Vegas, and that's what John Murray is going to help us out with. After John Murray, we're going to be joined by Tom Vecchio. We'll talk Major League Baseball. We'll talk NFL. We'll talk a little NFL with John, too. Great guest today on a Friday. Super pumped about it. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to college football tomorrow, and I know that we've got some headlines to get to from today. Yesterday, we spoke about Micah Parsons. Those lines moved like crazy. I do have somewhere in here. Where is it? I know I definitely took a snapshot of the lines, but okay. I have an email about it anyway. So BetMGM sent it out this morning, how the lines moved ever since the Micah Parsons news yesterday. So according to BetMGM, the Super Bowl odds for Micah Parsons, the Super Bowl odds for the Packers went from 22-1 to 13-1. Since the trade, 25% of bets, which is the most, have been put on the Packers to win the Super Bowl, 11% of money, second most. NFC odds went from Green Bay 11-1 to plus 650. Since the trade, 29% of bets, which is the most, on the Packers, and 61% of money is on the Lions to win the NFC. So in the division, the NFC North, plus 260, the Packers, moves to plus 170, making them the favorite to win the division at BetMGM. Since the trade, 58% of bets, 80% of money is still on the Lions to win the division. The win total went from Green Bay 9.5 up to 10.5, with juice to the under at minus 130. 76% of money since the open is on the over for the Packers. As for the Cowboys, the line moved 50-1 to 60-1 for the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, 20-1 to 30-1 to win the NFC. NFC East, no movement, still plus 675 to win the division. And the win total dropped from 7.5 to 6.5 with heavy juice to the over at minus 150. Some other key games to look at with the Micah Parsons trade: Eagles-Cowboys Week 1. The Eagles moved minus 7 to minus 7.5. 80% of money is on the Eagles to cover against Dallas. Packers-Lions Week 1. The Packers opened at plus 1.5. They were minus 1.5 before trade, now minus 2.5. So the line moved from plus 1.5 to minus 2.5 Week 1 for the Packers. 74% of money is still on the Lions to cover. And then the anticipated game of this trade, Week 4, you get the Packers and the Cowboys. The Packers minus 2.5, total 47.5. But it's too early, it says, to share betting insights, of course, with all the splits. But money line, Green Bay minus 150, Dallas plus 125. So a lot of movement there on the Micah Parsons trade going over to Green Bay. Joseph Rodriguez says, we are getting a bag today. Hell yeah, let's freaking win. Volpe back in the lineup. Joe Dollar likes him over 1.5 Ks. Ooh, I like that market. Giants get another win with Parsons trade. Yes, he's out of the division. Micah hasn't practiced in 7 months. Okay, he hasn't practiced, but he's still in shape. But you're right. I think for a Week 1 move, we don't need to jump on a Micah Parsons trade for a Week 1 move. I also, of course, I don't. The Packers defense got better, but do I trust their receiving core yet? Not really. Jordan Love has had a good year, but are his receivers ready? Is the offense going to be able to put up points? I still have question marks, and I don't think, as much as Micah Parsons is amazing, and as much as I think he is probably the best player on the Dallas Cowboys when he was on them, I actually thought Micah Parsons had way more weight than Dak. But a defensive player does not move, obviously it moves the needle, but I'm just saying it's not going to make me run and bet the Packers to win the Super Bowl. The Lions are still very good. Yes, they are. And that division, that whole division now has to face Aiden Hutchinson and Micah Parsons twice. Ooh. But yes, the wide receiving core in Green Bay scares me. It's not good enough on the offensive side of the ball for me to go running to bet the Packers yet. So it's wait and see. But again, week 1, I'm not going to be betting Green Bay solely because of Micah Parsons. Like, that is way too close for comfort. Be on the lookout, though. I know John Murray is going to have some things to say in the next 3 minutes as we talk about that. He'll tell you guys you're all crazy if you're going to bet the Green Bay Packers. John loves to fade the public. Obviously, he runs the freaking book over at the Superbook. What other headline news do we have today? So that's how all the lines moved. I'm trying to think. Major League Baseball stuff. I just did VSiN for like 3 hours, so I am shot. Xander Bogaerts is on the IL with a foot fracture. That's not good. So Xander Bogaerts out for the Padres. And obviously Walker Buehler ends up getting cut by the Boston Red Sox, which is insane to think about. So Walker Buehler, no longer a Boston Red Sox, as he was released earlier today, about a couple hours ago. Someone's going to pick him up, though. I wouldn't be surprised if someone picks up Walker Buehler and adds him to a bullpen for some depth, or even the freaking Yankees. Like, that's such a Yankee move to make that they'll go get Walker Buehler because their pitching is unreliable. I don't know. It's just something they would probably do. Dodgers taking him back. Oh, God. The Dodgers are going to get hot at the right time. We all know it's coming. It's going to happen. But I don't see the Dodgers getting past the NLCS, to be quite honest. It's just my cap of it. I guess I could look at the MLB. And Kyle Schwarber, by the way, 4 homers yesterday. That was insane. He ends up ending a 0 for hit streak in 20 at bats. He was 0 for 20 prior to Thursday night. Schwarber became the 21st player in MLB history with a 4-homer game, finishing the night with a franchise record 9 RBI in the Phillies' 19-4 win over the Braves. He's the 4th Philly to accomplish the feat and first since Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt in 1976. Schwarber leads baseball with a career high 119 RBIs. It's also a career best 49 home runs this year, second in franchise history behind Ryan Howard's 58. That was a 2006 MVP season. Schwarber's now 1 homer behind Cal Raleigh for the MLB lead. But the crazy thing is Kyle Schwarber against Atlanta this year, get this, hitting .368 with 8 homers, 16 ribbies. 8 home runs are the most for any MLB batter against a single opponent this year, tied with Ryan Howard in 2009 for the most ever in a Phillies batter against the Braves in a single season. And also remember that Schwarber won the All-Star Game MVP in Atlanta. So Schwarber has been on an absolute tear. And later on in the show, I've got some hitter props to look at. I've got some pitcher props to look at. It says John Murray is here, but it also says devices not connected. John, there he is. Oh my goodness. I am so excited for this. Let's bring on my good friend, Mr. John Murray from over at the Superbook. I am stealing you from Kelly in Vegas. Apologies to Kelly. How are you?
I don't think Kelly would mind that. I mean, don't you think we talk enough, me and her?
Does she give you as exciting of an intro as me?
No, I don't think we even have an intro. The show just kind of starts. Like we're usually BSing, and then we don't even know that they hit record, and then the show's.
Then you get canceled, but then they edit it so you don't get canceled.
You know what? Your friend said a couple of things on the show 2 weeks ago that probably would have got her canceled. But
she's not even canceled. Can you get canceled twice?
Yeah, you can for saying that. And but luckily our editors took it out.
No margaritas were fine. Like we're taking in that show.
She was dead sober, man. Dead sober.
Wow. You're very lucky. You didn't get the call I got after K-State lost in Ireland. I was on my way to the Morgan Wallen concert. And she called me cursing out K-State the entire car ride and said that's why she's going home.
Well, I think she already had her flight. I don't think she left because they lost. I think she had a planned flight home.
She planned it that way because she had a feeling they would lose. So she knew she had to end her trip. I mean, listen, you have to deal with her all football season. I could opt out.
I don't know, but I think I can opt out, right? I mean, this is a free country, kind of. I think I could just stop doing the show, right? I don't have to do it.
That's the problem with the live stream. I can't have my editors edit out certain things that you might make me say. I get you and Sammy P back-to-back days. It will be amazing if I'm not canceled after this. Look at this. Boise says, finally, a big-time guest. Westgate Murray and Epstein talking KIV shenanigans.
Who said that?
Boise
That was one of your,
Hindu.
one of your listeners said that. That's cool, man.
Yeah, we got a good
That
comment section here.
okay.
We've got all the regulars in the comments. It's a lot of fun over in the chat.
Very good.
Also, they tried to get me canceled, but it's fine. Westgate, is it booming right now? Football season, college football underway?
Yeah, so we're talking it's 2:12 on the West Coast right now, and we're taking signups into our college football contest until 3 p.m. So it is pretty busy out there. You've got college football tonight. I know Auburn plays Baylor tonight. That's probably the big game. And then of course, you got Texas and Ohio State tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning on the West Coast, which is ridiculous, as you know,
Insane.
9 a.m. out here, it sucks. But you also have LSU Clemson tomorrow night. You've got Notre Dame, Miami Sunday night, and you've got Saratoga and Del Mar running. So like I'm pretending to work. I got my office door closed. I'm really just back here playing the horses, playing the ponies. It's pretty busy.
I was going to say you're pretending that you like college football.
No, I love college football. I'm very excited about college football, and I'm happy with the turnout for our contest. It's been a good turnout. We got over 1,000 people in the contest, and this is the first year we did it. I do think it'll grow next year. Hopefully, we get 2,000 plus in 2026.
Ooh, I love this. And you guys also have NFL contests too, right?
Oh well, of course we do. So the NFL Super Contests, you can sign up for those until next Saturday. But you got the Super Contest, 5 picks a week. You've got the Super Contest Gold, also 5 picks a week, but it's $5,000 buy-in, winner take all, and new this year. And your friend Kelly is in this one with your friend Chris Thurston. Super Contest Survivor, which is a $5,000 buy-in. Winner theoretically could take all. Depends on how many people make it to the finish.
We love that. It's cutthroat, kill or
Yes.
be killed. That's the way that we like to play it. We've already got questions in the chat. Sean Michael, have we seen any large bets today on Texas?
Yeah, I mean, most of the money is on Texas, guys. So I think that's probably been talked about a lot this week, but I'll just say it again. Texas is definitely a very public side in this game. So you've seen it go from +3 all the way down to +1, but there's also some respected players on Texas as well. I think it's one of these rare situations where the public and some of our sharper players are on the same side. Now, this game isn't until tomorrow morning. That's not to say that you won't see sharp money come back on Ohio State before kickoff. But right now, as we're talking on Friday afternoon, public and the sharps. I don't know what we consider ourselves, Ariel, but the public and the sharps are both on Texas.
We're in a category of our own, Mr. Murray.
Okay, good.
How likely are you to close with Ohio State as a dog?
I definitely think it's possible. I saw our friends at Circa. They flipped it to where Texas is favored. They took a big bet on Texas. I do think it's possible. I know we talk about this a lot on Kelly and Murray. I joke a lot. Games don't land one. The joke there is it's the same bet. Texas +1, Ohio State +1 is the same bet. I know that isn't actually true, but it's pretty much the same bet, right? You might see.
Love when it lands one. My group chats just go off. There's no way. It's not.
It is funny. One. How can a game land one? It's ridiculous. But no, I think it's. I do think it's a possibility. We've also taken a lot of money on the under. So the under in this game, you've seen that go from 48 to 47.5 last night or yesterday afternoon. We've got -105 juice on this game both ways. So Texas is +1 -105. Ohio State's -1 -105. So there's just so much action on the game. I wouldn't be shocked if Texas goes off a small favorite tomorrow.
Okay. And then we've got a question from Mark. Georgia Tech, thoughts on them over Colorado? Yeah,
so that's a game I talked about on the show yesterday with Kelly. That is that's the game where it is pros versus Joes. Georgia Tech is definitely the public side in that game. We've got about 3.5 to 1 tickets on Georgia Tech. And even with that, the line has gone from Colorado +5 to right now we're at Colorado +3.5. So it's definitely, you're seeing the number move opposite the way the money is coming in. That's usually a telltale sign. You know what I mean? But nothing's foolproof. That's what I try to explain every week. But nothing works every time. It's not
easy.
No.
I mean, like, look at this. Where is it in the chat? Right here. Easy money. Boise says, easy money. Toledo first half at Kentucky.
That really has been one of the most interesting bet games of the week. Seriously, Toledo. I know I wouldn't have expected to say that, but that was a game where early on in the summer, Toledo was more like 10, 10 and a half. It got as low as 7.5 here, and then they bet Kentucky right back up. They bet us. They laid 7.5, 8.5, 9. They moved us right back up to 10. Haven't seen anything on the first half, but that's a game that's had a lot of money on it. And one of the games where we've had sharp groups come in on both sides of that game, and they've been batting that number back and forth. It kind of feels like they're faking the market up so that they can take Toledo. That's what it feels like. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
That's always what's so tricky the day before these games. I've seen a lot of people and heard a lot of people thinking they're the only ones, but they like Florida State. And yet, I'm starting to feel like Florida State is the public side in that game against Bama tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know about public side because the thing, I'm pulling that game up right now so I can get you some ticket count numbers. But I wouldn't say public side because you got to remember on a game like that, we've got Alabama minus 550. Alabama's going to be in every money line parlay that we write tomorrow. So there will be so much public action on those money line parlays. The book will definitely need Florida State, but it has been an interesting bet game in the sense that we had a very sharp group take 13.5 in this game early on in the summer, and it's actually moved against that bet. And right now, Alabama's minus 14. Tickets are like 2-1 on Alabama. I think you know what your problem is. You're surrounding yourself with too many of these like influencer people, and then you think that because all of them are on one side, you think that's what everybody's on.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Don't you think the media is always right?
Oh, of course. I was like, I didn't expect that question. Yes, no, the media very trustworthy. No, there's no
Social
reason to ever question them.
media, it's always
Oh yeah. Oh,
trustworthy and always
absolutely.
right.
Yes, they're spot on. They would never mislead the American public.
I'm telling you, my odds of being canceled the last 2 days were definitely minus 500 between you and Sammy. We've got a night game tomorrow too. Death Valley, Clemson, LSU. Brian Kelly stinks week 1. He stinks against top 10 opponents. Clemson just feels again like a public side.
Yeah, so that one's been an interesting game too. We talked about the Toledo game where the line's been kind of batted around, and we've seen that here as well. We got as low as 3 on Clemson. That's when the money came in on almost said the Tigers. On the Clemson Tigers came in at minus 3, got up to plus 4, and that's when they started seeing bets come in at LSU. Right now we're sitting at 4. Don't really have a decision on the game. There's a lot of money on both sides. I think I would expect us to be rooting for LSU tomorrow night when that game kicks off, because again, always think about the money line parlays when you're looking at all these favorites, and that game's late in the day. So not the last game of the day, but one of the later games of the day. So I know there's going to be money line parlays coming in from the morning and probably from tonight's games that'll go into Clemson and a couple other games tomorrow night, and then probably go to Notre Dame on Sunday. Notre Dame Miami game Sunday night. I think you'll see a lot of parlays from the weekend closing with that game, the way you see with Sunday night football in your league, the NFL. You know, we always want the favorite to lose on Sunday night football.
I'm going to get to the NFL in a second. But last question, okay. What are you guys rooting for tonight at the Westgate?
I'd say, let's see. There's a lot. That's a loaded question. Do you want me to say we need Kennesaw State against Wake Forest? Because we do. It looks like we'll be rooting for Auburn in what is the big game of the night. There is a lot of money on Baylor in that game. I'd say that looks like the biggest decision right now. We need Central Michigan. We took a lot of money on San Jose State, and that number's actually moved up quite a bit. That number's gone all the way from 10.5 up to 14. Looks like we'll need the dog in that one. But I'd say the big game right now, the game's in 3 hours, we need Auburn.
NFL, it's less than a week away. Starts a week from yesterday.
Yes.
What are you seeing early on going into week 1 of maybe sides that you might need or public teams that we should potentially fade?
Well, there's definitely a lot of money on the Raiders. So the Raiders start the season in New England, and they took 3.5, they took 3. There's been money starting to fade New England here late in the summer. People betting against their win total, or I should say under their win total is a better way of putting that, and betting against them in week 1. And then the Monday night game, next Monday night, you've seen the favorite flip in that game. Minnesota has gone from a dog to a favorite. Small favorite, 1.5. So again, one meaningless. Obviously, you know that. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But I think those are two sides we've definitely seen some money on. Don't really have anything in your game. The Sunday night game is going to be such a great game. Possibly, I'd say the two
Gonna
best teams in the
kill me.
AFC. I
It's gonna
understand
kill me. Not
people
ready.
are not going to like that because Kansas City wins the conference every year, but I do think those are the two best teams. That's
How
going
much
to
do you
be a
think they'll
great
win it
game,
this
but
year?
right now there's
Kelly thinks 3-1 to miss the playoffs is a good bet for the Chiefs.
for Kansas City.
Yeah. Or are we
I can't.
skipping?
I just can't do that because I can't. I do see some weaknesses on their roster, but they still have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, do they not? I don't think that's a good idea, but I do think Baltimore has a better team. I know Baltimore has a better team than Kansas City. They have a better roster than Kansas City does. I do believe that Allen is the best player in the league. I've thought that for a few years. But Kansas City, you got to give them all the credit in the world. It's not luck. They always manage to make the plays. They always get it done. I don't know that it's a great idea. Kelly's the kind of person that was betting against the Patriots every week when Brady was there.
Well, that was also
Now,
right.
yeah, and now you
And
just
she likes to do it to Chris Thurston.
like why like there's people that just bet against Belichick and Brady every week, and now they want to bet against Mahomes and Andy Reid every week, and it's like there's got to be something better you could do with your time than do that. There's got to be a better way to spend your money than betting against Mahomes. That would be my thought.
Not our girl. Not our girl. Any dog this coming week 1 in the NFL that stands out the most?
Dog. I mean, we didn't really. I mentioned the
Vegas.
Raiders. I think they're one for sure. Not really. It's been mostly money on the favorites. We've had a lot of money on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is at Atlanta in week one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's not a lot of support for Dallas on Thursday night. They just
Was
traded
that
Michael
recent
Parsons out.
because of the Micah Parsons trade?
I don't. We didn't really make a change to week one because we weren't expecting Micah Parsons to play week one anyway.
Right.
So the adjustments after the Micah Parsons trade were more in the futures market. I don't think we were ever really planning as if Parsons was going to suit up for the Cowboys, a week from now. So nothing really changed there as far as that game. You know what? I can give you a dog. I can give you one dog that has come down. The New York Giants. The New York Giants.
That.
They were +7. They got bet down to +6. We had a very respected player bet them over their win total this morning. So maybe the Giants can be one of the benefactors of the Parsons trade. Dallas has to be considered weaker now than they were yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants do have a lot of good young players. We'll see what they do at quarterback, but it can't get much worse than what Danny Dimes gave them last season.
No, it cannot. And I know you have to go, but before I let you go, you love baseball. You love it like I do. At this stage in the game, we are 1 month away from the postseason. Who is your World Series?
Ooh, wow. Boy, that's tough. I mean, I thought if you'd asked me last week, I probably would have picked Philadelphia, but with Wheeler being out for the year, I don't know about that. I mean,
I thought 10-1 was great value on Philly until Wheeler.
I felt the same way you did on that. I guess I'll go with boy, that's tough. I'll go with San Diego because I pick them every year and then they always lose.
Me too.
So I really respect them. I respect their management team because they go all in every year. I mean, the fans there really get their money's worth. They were very aggressive at the deadline again this year. I like what they did. I'll go San Diego. And in the American League, I mean, are you going to get mad at me if I don't pick the Yankees? I don't think the Yankees are going to get there.
Of course not. I don't think this team's making it out of the ALDS alive.
I don't. Detroit hasn't been playing as well lately. You know what? I'll pick my boy. Max Scherzer. I'll take the Blue Jays and the
Mark
Padres.
is going to love you.
I'll take that. Max Scherzer. That's my guy. You know that. He helped the Nationals win the World Series in 2019.
Hey, listen. Canada, right? You love Canada.
Oh, I love Canada. I love our neighbors to the north.
Maybe America one day. Who knows? 51st state. Toronto.
Don't get us canceled. This is my first time on the show. Don't get us canceled.
We need you back. Okay. John Murray. It's okay. You're uncancelable. John Murray from the Westgate. Have a great football season. We'll talk to you soon. Have fun this weekend.
Talk to you later.
John's the best, guys. John is the absolute best. I hope that you all enjoyed that. I enjoyed that very much. Very glad that I don't think I was canceled in that segment. Tom Vecchio going to join the show in about 3 minutes. We're going to talk more Major League Baseball. We'll talk NFL. I'm very happy for you, Mark. I am so happy for you. I hope that made your entire day. That John Murray of the Westgate told you that it's going to be Toronto and San Diego in the World Series. Okay. I'm going to get all this stuff imported into the chat so that I could get the graphics up. But we do have some propaganda. I think we have time for it. We just came off college football. So let's get to, before we get Tom Vecchio on, propaganda. Speaking of Canada, just kidding, America. I've got some of the most bet on props according to BetMGM for this college football weekend. So these are the most bet on teams according to BetMGM. Texas, which John Murray confirmed. Alabama, which he said he feels is going to be in a ton of parlays. Notre Dame, Clemson, and Syracuse. No surprises there for the most bet on teams this week. Most bet totals, Texas, Ohio State under. Keep hearing that one. Notre Dame, Miami under. LSU, Clemson under, New Mexico, Michigan under, and Syracuse, Tennessee under. So those are the most bet on week 1 teams and totals. Most bet on underdogs to win this week. LSU, Miami, Florida State, Houston, Virginia Tech. John Murray also confirmed that he thinks they're going to need LSU tomorrow night. Then anytime touchdown scorers. We're seeing Arch Manning at 2-1, Jeremiah Smith, James Peoples, which I also heard from a good friend of mine, CT Bets, that we are sleeping on the Ohio State backfield, which they feel has a 2-headed monster that should be much better than people anticipate. Ellie Raridon, Notre Dame, and Ryan Williams over there at Alabama. So those are your most bet on touchdown scorers. And John Ewing of BetMGM also said that these are the most popular college football week 1 bets. So the most money coming in on Bama, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia, Texas, Penn State, Michigan, South Carolina, and Tennessee. So these are your most bet on teams and spreads coming into week 1. If you would like to fade the public like we like to on propaganda, all the power to you. So those are the teams, the players that you could be fading. But I would say not so much on the dogs, since John Murray did mention that they're getting a lot of love to the favorites. Like, look at all of that. BetMGM, the most bet on, the most money coming in on these teams. They're all laying points outside of Texas. So the dogs, I wouldn't say necessarily are fades. It's more, do you want to fade any of these favorites? Alabama, I mean, again, I keep hearing about people liking Florida State and taking the points, but everyone's going to be on Bama. So maybe it is an FSU play. Notre Dame, I kind of like. I don't like laying 38.5. I do like Ohio State, and I like Clemson. So those are the two sides that I would give out. But let's bring on my good friend, coming over from Sports Grid, formerly at FanDuel, Tom Vecchio. We're going to talk Major League Baseball. We're going to talk NFL. I am ready to go for the NFL season, but I know we have college football first. What's up, Tom?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm not the biggest college football fan. Most of the time, I would take the points with heavy underdogs and or take a lot of unders. And fading the public is absolutely something to do. And so I am very, what's the word, like, picky, choosy, whatever you want to call it. I will only, I'm not a big college football fan, so I will essentially only bet on things when they're offering like a promo or a boost. So I'm very particular, I guess is the word that I'm looking for with what I'm actually going to be betting on.
We've got great games, huge games, which are going to be very public. And then, of course, you've got the large spreads, which are just so daunting to me. Like those 38.5s. I have no interest. And I know that they're like, I was on VSiN earlier today, and someone gave out a minus 38.5 on West Virginia. And I was like, I don't know how you sit through that. That seems like torture in garbage time.
It really does. You're just hoping that, the players that are obviously on the better team are really trying to impress, and they're trying to put up as many, wins and stats as they can. It's so funny to see, like, when we talk about NFL, we're like, oh, this team is favored by 12 points. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. And it's like literally triple that in some of these games. So, I'll watch the games from an entertainment perspective. I think they're awesome, but like diving into these lines, I always I will follow and tail people when they have like sandwich spots, I think they're called, whatever, where it's like they're playing like when Bama's playing Auburn the week after. It's like, let me take the opposing team. Not saying that they're going to beat Bama, but like something like that where they have a look ahead spot.
Exactly. Well, we've got NFL coming up in less than a week.
Yeah.
First things first, Kelly and I have an anytime touchdown contest on Splash Sports that we're going to do, which you should do, because I know that because if you like home run props, you definitely like touchdown props. And all you have to do, and I'm going to show you guys after Tom's segment, the ad for it. It's going to be fun. Anytime touchdown. All you have to do, pick a player to score a touchdown, and it's survivor based. So you can only pick one player throughout the course of the tournament. And if they score, you're alive. And if they lose, you are cut from Survivor.
Is it one per week?
What?
One per week?
I think the first week will be 2.
Okay.
But you only have to win one, and then it goes 1 per week from there, except for certain times. Like
I assume like the Thanksgiving may have its own day.
Right. But at that point, we probably are going to have a new contest by then.
Okay.
That is very far away. You do have an anytime touchdown scorer already coming up for week 1 on your card. Trey McBride, you like him. Why you like him at plus 185?
Love Trey McBride, not only this week, but really the entire season. If we look back to last year, if people are deep into fantasy football, or just betting Trey McBride, the joke on him was that he literally never scored. And he ended up getting a few receiving touchdowns the last few weeks of the season. And he actually had a rushing touchdown before he had a receiving touchdown. But we're dealing with a player that had a 29.3% target share last year. He had a 32% red zone target share. And he went basically the entire season outside the last 2 weeks without a receiving touchdown. So, for me, it's like I almost just want to buy into what I believe I can foresee the jokes coming. It's like, oh, he didn't score the entirety of last year. Oh, of course he scores week 1 this year. But in reality, the underlying metrics of having a nearly 30-30 of target share and red zone target share and playing the Saints, who are a terrible defense, the odds don't suggest that he has a 30% target share. So I'm buying into the odds and ultimately what I believe is a fantastic and will ultimately end up as the 1 or 2 best tight end, him and Brock Bowers. It's going to be like 1A, 1B all season.
I know the chat's blowing up about your Tigers pick already, but guys, I'm still talking about the NFL.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers end up getting Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I'm not even so concerned about week 1. Just had John Murray on from the Westgate. He said the same. Didn't even expect Parsons to participate week 1 anyway with Dallas. Yeah. For bettors out there that may have missed the line on Green Bay or may have action on Dallas, how would you tell people to shift their action? And it might not even be about the Packers and the Cowboys. Maybe it's someone in their division. Where is the value after the Micah Parsons trade?
I would say if you don't have a Packers ticket for division, conference, Super Bowl, you probably missed the boat. Right? Like if you have a Packers ticket, I think they're 12-1, 13-1 for the Super Bowl at this point. If you have a ticket at them 18 or 20-1, that's awesome. Great. If you have them, 12-1 or 10-1, I would not be buying in at this point. I would not be buying in at the division, which is super tough. Can we say that the Lions may take half a step back because they have 2 new coordinators? Sure. Will the Bears be just a little bit better? Sure. Are the Vikings going to be a little bit of a mystery because I'm going to call him a rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, who's yet to play in a real NFL game? The division's going to be really tough because the Vikings defense is still really good. And to buy in on a already moved number for the Packers would not be the spot to go. Now, we can say that maybe opposing team total unders on a game-by-game basis for teams going up against the Packers, that might be something good. For the Cowboys, their defense was already average to slightly below average with Parsons, and it's even worse now. He is legitimately going to be a defensive player of the year candidate with him, Hutchinson, and Watt for pick a number of years, 5, 6 next coming years. So their defense was bad to begin with. Now this means it's worse, which means they're going to be getting into shootouts. Their running back room, which they actually just released the depth chart, Schefter just tweeted right before I came on. Their defense is terrible. Their running back room is in the air. What does this mean? They're going to pass the ball a lot, which means Dak pass attempts on a game-by-game basis. People have their questions about Dak, he may not be good. They're going to throw the ball. Who cares? If they win, they don't make the playoffs, they lose on plays. None of that matters. What matters is Dak is going to throw for 4,000 yards. Who cares if there's interceptions? The volume will be there every single week for Dak. If we are getting a 34 or 35.5 pass attempt number for Dak, those are highly projectable based on game script, based on game flow, plays run per game. Obviously, the total impacts it. And when they have a terrible defense, Dak's going to throw the ball 40 times a game, and the line's going to be wrong for half the year.
We love the Tom dropping gems comment. See, I have concerns on the Packers side of the offensive ball where on the offensive side of the ball, where I don't know who Jordan Love's throwing to. Like the Packers receiving core is still either young with Matt Golden or they're hurt. I mean, I don't know how to handicap the offense for Green Bay.
So obviously drafting Golden, Reed, Dobbs, Wicks, even Tucker Kraft, the tight end, is good. Like they have a plethora of riches, but no one has stepped up to be like a true number one ultimately. And, we talked about a couple weeks ago that Love is coming back from surgery on his non-throwing hand. And Watson is out for half the year. So like they have all these parts moving all over the place. Players suspended, who's going to be in. Like ultimately, I think just benefits Josh Jacobs, because if their defense is so good, and they have a lot of options, and it's like, okay, they may not have one receiver that consistently goes for 70, 80, 90 yards, but it's like, okay, we have like 3-4 receivers plus a tight end that could all give us like 40 yards, 50 yards plus Josh Jacobs. And then all of a sudden, okay, it's like, oh, you have a touchdown. Josh Jacobs has also worked 24 to 12 or 24 to 14. Now we're just running the ball late in the game. So until someone steps up, I can see a route where no one player is great, but they're all kind of good. But Josh Jacobs is the best option that they have.
How much do you put into season-long player props in the NFL?
I have a good amount out there, whether it's player props or to lead the league in X category. It's tough. There's a lot of data to suggest that you can take, I don't want to say blindly, because that, it's a tough way to put it, but like you pick 10 players that you kind of don't like, you have questions about, and just take the under on all of them. And obviously you're looking to come out, at least 6, obviously injuries play a huge part in that in the NFL. I had a ticket last year on Nico Collins to lead the league in receiving, and he came out the gates blazing hot and then missed 4 games on IR with the hamstring injury, and he was just behind the pace. Even though on a game-by-game basis, he was phenomenal. So I would say unders on a lot of them are really easy to go about. It's also tough knowing that some of these lines are minus 114 or minus 120, and you're locking up that money for 6 months, whatever it is, 5.5 months, just to get barely back to, minus 114 odds. That's why I prefer the league leader markets. And I do have a bet on Baker Mayfield to lead the league in passing yards, just because he's going to throw the ball, and I'm not sure if their defense is good.
I like that approach because that's a better payout to get these guys leading the league in receiving yards, leading the league in passing yards. Especially with quarterbacks, that there are going to be quarterbacks that, as you mentioned before, only really have the option to throw. I remember like Big Ben's final season, I had the over on like 43.5 pass attempts because they couldn't run the freaking football. So there are always going to be these kinds of quarterbacks. But let's get to Major League Baseball. We've got action tonight. People want to make their money tonight. So Tom, help Shawn Michael out because he is going to be so happy that you were on his Tigers tonight, plus 104.
Yeah, so I've been a comment before. I don't know if it was him or someone else saying like, oh, it's Chris Paddock is pitching. Like, believe me, I understand Chris Paddock is not a good pitcher, and Seth Lugo, I think, has some type of name recognition on the other side. But if we actually look at things since July 1st, Seth Lugo has been terrible. And Chris Paddock is not a good pitcher. I will willingly admit that. I've said it earlier this year. But, like, Seth Lugo has been terrible. Since July, his ERA is over 6. His xFIP is over 5. I think there's too much name recognition being put on Lugo. So if you, like, take the pitchers out of it, like, I'm betting on the Tigers. I'm not betting on Chris Paddock, right? So I'm betting on the totality of the Tigers, which would be some Chris Paddock, unfortunately, but their lineup, who I do think will be in a bounce back spot after a tough series at the Athletics. I don't trust the back end of the Royals bullpen. And yeah, the Royals can hit at times, but if we're going to be getting a higher total game with a 10.5, was that J-Main 34 saying, like, there's variance there. And I understand that, but like variance can work in our favor. We don't always have to view it a bad thing. So Paddock, if you told me he gives up 3-4 runs, not surprised at all, but I expect the Tigers to come through with scoring against Seth Lugo, who's been terrible as of late.
How much would you look at the over, like the chat's saying?
I would say if you don't like the money line and you don't want to trust Seth Lugo and the Royals, so I think we all would agree are a average to below average team, the over would be the play. It would be like over or just completely stay away.
We've also got Herman Marquez, who also stinks.
Yeah.
He's getting the Cubs under 3.5 Ks. Why?
He stinks. Strikeout rate is 16% this year. Absolutely terrible. This is his first start back since July 20th. He's being activated off of IR. It's also at Coors Field. And him getting blown up for 5 earned or 6 earned runs in the first 2 innings or 3 innings and getting pulled, would not surprise anyone. So even if this wasn't his first start back since July 20th, even if he was just pitching every 5 days, 6 days, whatever it is, he's just objectively bad, not a big strikeout pitcher, and he's at home at Coors Field. If we look back to right before he went on the IL, he had a couple big strikeout games versus the Dodgers and when he was at the Reds at Cincy. And sure, they swing a lot, but that's not Coors Field. We can't be taking that like as a shining light, saying like, oh, he can strike teams out. It's like, this is the Cubs. I know they haven't been amazing as of late, but they're still a better lineup overall, and he gives up 4 earned runs at a minimum, I think, over the first 2 innings.
The Cubs at Coors definitely have no interest in German Marquez, nonetheless, at Coors Field.
Yeah.
Tonight we have a big slate of games in Major League Baseball, and John Murray just came on. He said, Padres, that could be a team, and the Toronto Blue Jays, that could be a team that makes the World Series. Tom, again, this is the 80,000th time that I have now been coerced into the Padres, but now we just see Xander Bogaerts goes on the IL. Like, how much faith do we really have in the Padres?
Xander's been okay this year. Like, I don't think that's a massive loss for him. Like, it's not like them losing. It's not like them losing, Pivetta on top of them already losing King. Like, they're not a great overall. Like, Xander's okay. Like, I'm not saying he's some massive player. I don't mind the Blue Jays. It took me a while to get to a point where I trusted them, because I would still say at the end of the day, the Mariners have the best pitching staff in all of baseball.
I feel like I haven't even heard anything of no one's talking about the Mariners.
But Bieber being back, and he's pitching tonight, if I remember correctly. Like, he's going tonight. He's looked really good. So having
he pitched against Miami. Let's see.
It's totally fair. He has a very tough matchup today going up against the Brewers, and Jackson Chourio will be activated tomorrow. So their lineup will only be getting better. But, the Blue Jays having another starter that you can at least compete with, a top end talent, and he has playoff pedigree, I think is important. I think the Padres can be there as well if Michael King comes back. I know a lot of people don't trust Dylan Cease, but I still think he's a great pitcher. Not to say that he doesn't.
Well, I trust all of them more than I trust the Milwaukee Brewers.
Sure. I mean, that's certainly said, but something about the Mariners, knowing that you have Bryce Miller just came back on top of Logan Gilbert and George Kirby and Brian Wu and Luis Castillo, like, that is a 5-man rotation that can go up against literally any team. And when you have the increase in the offensive potential at a floor and a ceiling level, when we're looking at the output of their offense, the Mariners kind of check every single box. Now, it really comes down to the path that they have to take. Do they win the division? Do they have to play in the wild card round? Do you have to go against the Blue Jays and then play the Tigers just to get to the ALCS? That would be difficult for any team. You say the same thing about the Blue Jays. I don't think they'll lose the division, but going through multiple steps just to get to the ALCS, I think having first round is more important than any, and for both leagues this year.
There's not really a true favorite in my eyes, because I don't see the Dodgers actually making it back to the World Series. Someone's going to upset them, and I truly believe that. Tom Vecchio, what do you got going on this weekend? I'm sure you're on Sports Grid.
Yeah, Sunday, final baseball show of the season. Send off, just because Sunday mornings obviously turn to football at a certain point. Sunday, that show on Monday from 1 to 4, and then it's football season.
Can't believe it's here. Tom, we'll talk to you next week. We'll get some more NFL Week 1 action from you, and good luck this weekend and tonight.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Before I get to the Prop Queen edges of the day, I told you guys that Kelly and I have our Touchdown Survivor pool that is open for everybody. So it is over at Splash Sports right now, and here is our little preview of it. You could pick just one player to score a touchdown each week.
Welcome to Kelly and Ariel's Touchdown Survivor on Splash Sports.
Here's how it works. Each week you pick one player to score a touchdown. If you hit it, you survive. If you lose, you're out.
We ran a very similar contest during baseball season called Hit Streak Survivor, but this is the NFL, baby. This is the real deal.
Think you're sharp enough to outlast the competition? Prove it. Survive.
Sign up now at splashsports.com/Kelly in Vegas.
And if you knock Kelly and I out early, at least tag us in a post and brag about it.
And we'll see who makes it to the end of the season.
It's Touchdown Survivor! Splash Sports!
Touchdown Survivor, Splash Sports. See what you got.
So if you guys would like to join the contest, if we get the max amount of people in, you can win up to $15,000. You just have to survive. Pick a winner. Pick someone to score a touchdown each week. And if you get through the entire Survivor pool, you can win up to $15K. It's splashboards.com/Kelly in Vegas. So go sign up and join us, because we're in it And then you could see if you can outlast us in Survivor. Just pick who's going to score a touchdown. We've got Major League Baseball tonight. I don't really have any WNBA. Nothing stood out to me. So I'm going to get to some pitcher props for tonight in Major League Baseball. This was on the PropQueen.com newsletter this morning as well. Starting with the Reds righty, Zach Littell over 15.5 outs. Littell, Jesus Christ. Littell has gone over 15.5 outs in 73% of games this year. When Littell's on 6 days rest, he's gone over 15.5 outs in 5 of 6 starts, and all 4 when he's at home. And the Cardinals, they average 17 outs a game against starters, so Littell over 15.5 outs. We mentioned it before with Tom, Shane Bieber starting for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. I'm going under 5.5 Ks. He's got the Brewers. He pitched well against Miami, but now he's getting Milwaukee, who leads Major League Baseball in road win percentage and runs per game on the road at just under 6 runs a game. Righties, 41 overs and 49 unders when facing the Brewers, averaging just over 4 strikeouts a game. 7 of the last 10 righties went under 5.5 Ks when facing Milwaukee. So Shane Bieber, welcome back, under 5.5 Ks. George Kirby for the Mariners, over 5.5 strikeouts. Kirby's gone over in 3 of 5 against teams with high K rates. He's 7-3 with a 3.05 ERA in his last 11 starts. Righties against the Mariners, 52 overs and just 40 unders. 5 strikeouts per start is what they average. Oh, sorry, against the Guardians, not the Mariners, against the Guardians. 6 of the last 10 righties went over 5.5 Ks against Cleveland. So George Kirby, over 5.5 Ks. Tyler Anderson, over 3.5 strikeouts. He's had at least 4 strikeouts in 14 of 19 games against teams with high K rates against lefties. When Anderson's on the road, he doesn't care. He hits the over in 7 of the 9 starts against high K rate teams. 8 of the last 10 lefty starters to face Houston have gone over 3.5 Ks. They're averaging about 5 strikeouts a game when facing Houston this year. So the lefty, Tyler Anderson, over 3.5 strikeouts. And I know that a lot of you guys are high on Detroit, or maybe you're not high on Kansas City. And I know that Seth Lugo has been struggling. But this is a back-to-back situation where we are seeing Seth Lugo face the Tigers for a second straight start. He's gone over 15.5 outs in 77% of home games this year, averaging 17 outs a start. So Lugo, even though he just went 4 1/3 with 6 earned runs allowed and 5 Ks against Detroit his last start, he's better at home. He has an ERA of a 3.28 at home and a 4.76 on the road. 64% of the last 20 righties to start against Detroit went over their outs prop. And the Tigers are averaging 16 outs a game against starters. So over on Seth Lugo outs, I'm going to try my best here. Why is he only 15.5 outs? That's low for him. Who? Lugo or Littell? I was a little late to this. And then we've got some hitter props. So going back to Jurickson Profar, who I feel like I've been backing a lot. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. Braves at the Phillies, 6:45 p.m. Eastern time. With Profar getting a lefty like Suarez, it's definitely intriguing. Against lefties, Profar is averaging 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI a game. This over also hit in 5 straight against the Phillies for Profar. He's got a 491 on-base percentage with 17 runs batted in over his last 11 games. Profar is hitting 306 in August and 385 in the last 7 days. For the Nationals, C.J. Abrams also on a tear at home against the righty at night. Abrams is averaging 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI. It's why he's hit the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI in 8 of the last 10 games and 15 of the last 20. Abrams is also on 1 day of rest, and when he's on 1 day of rest at home, Abrams has hit the over in 82% of games. So you could look over his hits, runs, and RBI. 2 different Mets players tonight that you could have a close eye on. Pete Alonso over his hits, runs, and RBI. They get the Marlins. Alonso is driving in 2.6 hits, runs, and RBI at night against righties at home. He's also hitting 313 in the last week, 295 this month. Alonso hits better at home anyway and against righties. So you could look at Alonso tonight, or you could look at Francisco Lindor tonight. Oh, sorry, that was Lindor. Sorry, that's Alonso's chart. You could also look at Francisco Lindor tonight. When Lindor also faces a right-hander at home at night, he's averaging just over 3 hits, runs, and RBI. It's why he's gone over this in 74% of those matchups. And if you want to choose between Lindor and Alonso, Lindor does hit better against the Marlins in his career, hitting 289. Alonso only 242. So if that matters to you, then you could take a look that way as well. Bo Bichette is another name that I was looking at. Where was he? I thought I had it earlier. Bo Bichette has also been hitting very well at home this year. And Trevor Story also has been hitting well at home this year. So those are some other names that you could look at for some hitter props tonight in Major League Baseball. Mitchell Parker over 2.5 earned runs and over 5.5 hits. Okay, big Mitchell Parker fade today. I also have matchups to watch. I put this in the propqueen.com newsletter this morning. Let's see. Matchups to watch. This is a sneak peek at the newsletter, which hopefully I don't have any typos in. Good matchups tonight in Major League Baseball. Nick Castellanos is hitting 500 with 4 homers against Bryce Elder. So you could look at his over hits, runs, and RBI at home at night against righties. He's gone over this in 76% of games. Trey Turner against Bryce Elder hitting 429 with a double and a homer. Over a half a run for Turner has cashed in 70% of games at home at night against righties and 70% of the last 20. Mike Yastrzemski hitting 333, 3 doubles, 2 homers against Paddock. Luis Rengifo, 455 with a homer against Christian Javier. Willie Adames hitting 444 with a double and a homer against Dean Kramer. Rafi Devers hitting 304 with a double and 2 homers against Kramer. Kramer always stinks on the road. Jose Ramirez hitting 556 with 2 doubles and a homer against Kirby. Just remember, J-Ram hasn't played since Tuesday. Byron Buxton, 4 for 10 with a double and 2 homers against the lefty Nestor Cortez. You could look at Buxton over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. It cashed in 65% of games at home against lefties, averaging 3.5 hits, runs, and RBI in those spots. Yordan Alvarez hitting 381 with 3 doubles and 3 homers against the lefty Tyler Anderson. Bad matchups for tonight. Ketel Marte, 214. He's got some extra base hits against Blake Snell. 2 doubles and 2 homers, but he's hitting 214. So if you want to look at the under on his total bases, it's gone under in 56% of games on the road against lefties, 5 of 7 against the Dodgers. Lourdes Gurriel, 2 for 17 with 2 homers against Blake Snell with 8 strikeouts. Andrew Benintendi, 0 for 13 with 3 Ks against Carlos Rodon. Mike Trout, 0 for 12 with 8 strikeouts against Christian Javier. So under total bases for Trout, hit in 71% of games on the road against righties and 9 of the last 10. So you could look to fade Mike Trout that way. Taylor Ward, 1 for 14 with 9 Ks against Javier. Ronald Acuna Jr. hitting 208 with 2 doubles and 4 strikeouts against Ranger Suarez. Michael Harris, 3 for 23 with 4 Ks against Suarez. Riley Green, 154 batting average with 2 home runs, 5 strikeouts against Seth Lugo. A bit of juice there, minus 150 with under 1.5 total bases. Shohei Ohtani does not have good numbers against Zach Gallen, by the way. But Gallen's not good on the road. So I don't know how much you want to buy into this. But he's 2 for 10 with a double and 6 strikeouts against Gallen. If you want to be crazy and take an under on Ohtani total bases, it's gone under at night at home against righties in 13 of the last 20. So that's if you want to get a little crazy tonight. Oh. Cool. Okay, have fun, Earl. Anyway, Marley's here, which means I've got to get going. So it's time for the best bets of the day. We've got our Royal Locks. Royal Locks of the day are obviously pitcher props because it's Friday. Why wouldn't it be pitcher props tonight? We're going over 15.5 outs on Zach Littell. The Reds righty has gone over this in 73% of games this year. On 6 days rest, Littell's gone over this in 5 of 6, including all 4 when he's at home. And the Cards average 17 outs a game against starters. So this number is very low at 15.5. Take the over. Also very low, 3.5 Ks for Tyler Anderson against the Astros. He's had at least 4 strikeouts in 14 of 19 games against teams with high K rates against lefties. When Anderson's on the road, he's hit the over in 7 of 9 starts against these high K rate lineups. And 8 of the last 10 lefty starters to face Houston have had at least 4 strikeouts. So we're going over 3.5 Ks on Tyler Anderson tonight against the Houston Astros. That is it for me here on the Prop Queen Pod. You want to say hi, Mara? Come here. Up. You want to come up? Up. Come here. Okay, I can show you on the floor. You say hi. Happy Friday, everybody. Say happy Friday, Marley. She wants me to have happy hour and drink wine and enjoy my Friday night, which won't happen anytime soon because I have to do social media and get ready for football tomorrow. But we've got football tonight, college football action tonight. Mid-major Matt, by the way, He also has his newsletter up and running on the Prop Queen site, so definitely go check it out. You could see, I do have it somewhere. Where is it? Where is my mid-major mat? I had it somewhere. Oh, did I delete it? Maybe I did. Okay, but this giveaway is also here. Remember, you can go sign up to Mid-Major Matt's newsletter. It's like $5.95 per month to just get all his college football insights. We're going to have tomorrow morning all of his stuff for the Saturday slate going out on the newsletter as well. And don't forget, we've got the giveaway. Join props.cash using promo code PropQueen. You are guaranteed 50% off your first month of football season for props.cash if you use promo code PropQueen. And you will be entered for the giveaway to win a free jersey of your choice, which I will announce on September 23rd. The winner. I get to choose the winner. So, butter up. Props.cash. 50% off. And the football props for the NFL are out. They've got college football props posted. They've got NFL props. They've got NFL season-long props posted. You guys see, I always use these graphics for Major League Baseball all the time. That comes from props.cash. They have it for football. Go sign up. It'll be like $9 for the first month of football season for you to try it out using promo code PropQueen. And then if you win the contest of the giveaway, then I will make sure to get you a jersey of any player that you want. Sign up today. YouTube, go subscribe, like everything on the Prop Queen Sports YouTube page because it helps. And if you missed anything, I cut up all the segments after the show. So if you want to just watch John Murray's segment, if you want to just watch Tom Vecchio's segment, if you just want to watch the Prop Queen edges of the day, then you could go to the YouTube page and just click around on all the different videos so that you could just watch them in segments if you missed anything. Show is sponsored by Pikkit Sports. Thank you, Pikkit. You can track all my bets there. Everything, all the action I put down is on Pikkit Sports. I don't bet everything I tell you. I tell you all the Prop Queen edges of the day, and then I narrow that list down for myself. Sometimes I pick winners. Sometimes I pick losers. Ultimately, the hope is that the long list helps you guys pick winners for yourself. Have a great weekend. I will see you all on Tuesday. I'm going to take Labor Day off and enjoy my day back in Manhattan because I'm finally going to hopefully be leaving my parents' house with my girl Marley. And we are going to enjoy a Monday on Labor Day. Then it is full grind mode for football season on Tuesday. See you all on Tuesday, everybody. Good luck with your bets this weekend. Happy football season.